Elon Musk bought Twitter for $44 billion. Immediately after closing the deal, he fired the CEO, the top execs, and 7,500 employees till date. His idea of $8 price tag for verified people, which eventually became insane because anyone who created a fake profile got a blue tick with $8. You know what? This ended up in wiping out $22 billion in stock value for two major companies in the United States. Elon says he wants to change Twitter an ambassador of free speech, but you know what? It is eventually changed into an ambassador of hate speech right now. Well, Elon wants Twitter to be profitable with the $8 subscription, but 90% of its revenue is at stake right now because the biggest advertisers of Twitter has pulled back ad campaigns. Let us try to deep dive and study whether can Elon change Twitter as a bias-free platform and also making it profitable. The content is loading and welcome to loading.
What is your aim in life?
So before we get into any conclusions, let's try and understand Twitter or any social media platform algorithms from a bird's eye point of view. It all comes down to increasing your engagement in the platform so the ad targeting can be performed on you with more efficiency, which results in more revenue for the platform and the business. The Twitter algorithms are kind of unavoidable these days. You can't run away from it. From trends to topics to the explore tab to the recommended accounts, algorithms always show users the personalized recommendations. The Twitter itself says machine learning can impact hundreds of millions of tweets per day. So the Twitter is powered by multiple algorithms determining all aspects of how content is served on the platform. This includes everything from recommended accounts to top tweets. So Twitter algorithms, long story short, are all about personalization. A stream of tweets from accounts you have chosen to follow on Twitter, as well as recommendations of other content. I think you might be interested in based on accounts you interact with frequently and also the tweets you engage with and more. So despite the complexity and sophistication of how this algorithm is functioning, understanding the factors that likely to go back into the black box can still reveal what influences rankings. So Twitter's original timeline was simply composed of all the tweets from the accounts one has followed since one's last visit, which were collected and displayed in reverse chronological order, with the most recent tweets shown first and each earlier tweet shown on one after the other as one scrolls downwards. I would like to go through the below blogs I mentioned in the comment section. This is about Twitter frequently examine their algorithms to be socially responsible and ethical. One of the most influential aspects of Twitter timeline is how Twitter is now displaying tweets based upon not only your direct connections at this point, but essentially what is your unique social graph, which Twitter refers to as on its patent as a connection graph. The connection graph represents accounts as nodes and relationships as edges connecting one or more nodes. A relationship may refer to association between Twitter accounts. Relationships in one connection graph may be unidirectional, example, I follow you, or it is bidirectional, we both follow each other. If I follow you but you do not follow me, I would have a greater expectation of seeing your tweets and retweets appearing in my timeline, but you would not necessarily expect to see mine. Simply based on the connection graph, you are likely to see tweets and retweets from those you have followed as well as tweets your connections have liked or replied to. The Twitter algorithm has expanded tweets you may see beyond those accounts that you have directly interacted with. The tweets you may see in your timeline now also includes the tweets from others who are posting about topics you have followed. The tweets similar in some ways to tweets you have previously liked and tweets based on topics that the algorithm predicts you might like. Even among those extended types of tweets you may get, the algorithm's ranking system applies. You are not receiving all tweets matching your topics, likes, and predicted interests. You are receiving a list curated through the Twitter's algorithm. Within the DNA of a number of Twitter's patterns and algorithm for ranking tweets is the concept of interestingness. It is used kind of similar and identical factors for computing interestingness. These include the location information, the content metadata, the chronology, the user access patterns, signals of interest such as tagging, commenting, and favoriting. According to Twitter, the top tweets are chosen based on accounts you interact with most, the tweets you engage with, and much more. We can only guess what much more means. Every algorithm has its own secret sauce. Recency for trends. For the trends, the topics that are more popular now rather than topics that have been popular for a while or on a daily basis. For the current events and topics may appear in a section at the top of the home timeline called What's Happening. Relevance as a factor. That completely depends on your previous actions on Twitter, like your own interest, on the tweets, and also the tweets you have been engaged with, the accounts you are often engaged with, and also the topics you follow and engage with most, your location, and the number of tweets related to a topic. The most important thing is the engagement factor, right? That completely drives the ad revenue business of any social media platform. For tweets, how popular it is and how people in your network are interacting with. For topics, how much people are tweeting, retweeting, replying, and liking tweets about that topic. For trends, the number of tweets related to the trend. And the fourth factor is about the rich media, the type of media the tweet includes. For example, image, video, GIF, and also the polls. Okay, now we are at the important phase of this video. Why I even thought about doing a video after a really long time, right? It all started with the first allegation that Elon Musk put forward was that there is a political bias in Twitter which actually goes against the principles of free speech. And even some of you or even me, we are believing the same because all of our feed in Twitter was evolved in a certain way to make you believe that. But you know what? Not having a political, or any bias on any social media platform is practically impossible. I will tell you how, right? Because if you look at the root cause of this toxic and biased content, it is actually very surprising. Let's say there are 100 people on the platform, and these 100 people are said to have moderate fan base or fan following for actor Vijay and actor Ajit, Tala and Talapati, right? So it's more easier in this way. I can explain it, right? So Tala Talapati issue, let's get onto the table. Now even all of the 100 guys who are following this Tala Talapati, let's say that they are very neutral people, right? The fundamental truth, according to the behavioral science, says that all of them will by default incline towards one actor, knowingly or unknowingly. Let's say there are 50 people are slightly inclined towards Ajit, but they are not crazy guys initially. They are slightly inclined, but they still like Vijay. Okay, slightly inclined towards Ajit, but they are not inclined towards Vijay. The other 50, right? The opposite. So they are slightly inclined towards Ajit, but not Vijay. So now when these two groups of people start using Twitter, the psychological attribute actually starts get into play, which is called as confirmation bias. In simple words, if you are inclined towards Ajit, in order to reinforce your belief, you will by default click like and a comment upon a video that praises Ajit. This is because it is the natural human behavior to confirm its bias through content. Similarly, if you are inclined towards Vijay, you are going to do the same. You are more likely to click like and comment, share, subscribe upon a piece of content that praises Vijay. And this is why the game of algorithm controls your or takes advantage of your human psychology, right? Now you see all for the social media platforms, the most important metric is to promote a piece of content is engagement, right? So every social media, it's driven by the ad-based business, and if they promote engagement, they do more ads. They get more revenue through the ads. As in many people, they click like, comment or share a piece of content, and which type of people will engage with which, okay. So now Ajit inclined people start liking and commenting upon Ajit positive and Vijay negative content, and when this happens, there are three things happen, right? Their love for Ajit will increase, their hate for Vijay will increase, and most importantly, the Twitter algorithm will know that group A will engage with Ajit positive and Vijay negative content. Similarly, when Vijay inclined group start liking and commenting upon Vijay positive and Ajit negative content, their love for Vijay will increase, their hate for Ajit will increase. And the Twitter algorithm will know that group B will engage with Ajit negative and Vijay positive content. And this group A and group B categorization, what you call as echo chambers, as an environment where a person encounters information or opinions that reflect and reinforce their own opinions and thoughts, the confirmation bias leads people to like and comment upon them. And when this happens, the platform gets more engagement, right? So it shows them more Ajit positive and Vijay negative content, which leads to opinions become more and more stronger. And this leads to more confirmation bias and leads to more engagement, right? So group A and B keep on consuming content based on their confirmation bias. Their degree of inclination will go from slightly inclined to crazy inclined. And this is what gives rise to a what you call riot. As your love for Ajit increased to such an extent that even if the actor does something bad, you will desperately find illogical reasons to defend him. At the same time, you do the same for Vijay, right? You find some pretty illogical reasons to defend him, even if he does some stupid movies, right? So by the time the rage in these people is so much that all kinds of abusive words and extreme opinions have already started showing up on the platform. If the platform shows you both sides of the story, you know what? The engagement with the platform will obviously drop, right? People won't be as engaged like how you want, right? And eventually it will decrease the revenue of the social media platform. Why? Because advertisers will pay less to a platform with less engagement. So do you see it is a kind of a situation? This confirmation of the bias leads to rage and polarization. So one billionaire, one policy, one company cannot fix this. So long story short, my thought about Elon's goal of making Twitter a neutral platform without a political bias or any kind of bias for that matter is nothing but a joke.
What is your aim in life?
ஜாலியாக இருக்கணும். ஜாலியாக தான் சார் இருக்கும்.